For this lesson, we're going to be looking at how we can use equations to help us solve problems that involve shapes like geometry. Just a quick review. Remember that area is the inside of a shape, and perimeter is asking us to find the distance around the outside. And we've got some other information we'll use around here too. So find the value of each variable. We're looking at a triangle. It says the sum means when I add, the angles add up to 180. So I can take the angles in any order, doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to start with the top one, the 2x plus 7. And we're going to do exactly that. We're going to find the sum, so we're going to add up. So there's a first angle plus the second angle, 74, plus the last angle is x. And it says it has to equal up to 180. And then, just like when we solve regular equations, we start by combining all our like terms. So we have 2x and x makes 3x. Those are like terms. Then we have 7 and 74, and that makes 81. And now that we've combined all our like terms, we're going to solve the equation. So we do add, subtract first. So opposite of plus 81 is minus 81 from both sides. So it's going to leave me with 3x is equal to 99. Now we're down to just one step. Divide by 3 on both sides. So x has to be 33. It doesn't ask us this, but if it did ask us to find each angle measure, then I would plug x is 33 in here, so x is 33. That one's easy, x is 33. And then here I plug in 2 times 33 instead of x, and then plus 7 to find that angle measure. Number 2, we're going to do something similar, except we have a pentagon, 5-sided figure in this time. So this sum this time is going to be 140, but the process is the same. We're going to add all the angles up, and this time it's going to equal to 540. Be careful with this one that says that 4x plus 6 goes to this angle and this angle, so we need to do that twice. So I need 4x plus 6 plus another angle that's 4x plus 6. And then I can add the other 3. So I have the 113 angle. I've got an angle that's 5x. And remember, this square in the corner means that that's 90. And altogether this equals 540, it told us. So we're going to go through and we're going to combine our like terms first. So I have 4x and 4x makes 8x. And I have 5 more x. So that's 13x. And then we're going to look at the rest of our like terms. So I have a 6, and a 6 makes 12. And we're going to add that to our 113. And that gives us 125. Oh, I forgot to add the 90. So now let's change that, and let's take the 125, and we need to add the 90 to that still. So that should be 215 instead. So we added 6, 6, 113, and the 90. And that's where the 215 came from. It equals to 540. Now we've got a two-step equation, so we're going to subtract 215 from both sides. So we get 13x is equal to 540 minus 215 is 325. Then we're going to divide both sides by 13 to finish solving that equation. And x is 25. Again, if I wanted to, or if it asked me to, I could plug in 25 for x and find the value of all those different angle measures. Okay, for number 3, we're told that the perimeter is 24. And remember, perimeter means the distance around the outside. So to find perimeter, we add all the way around the outside, and it's telling us that that's going to equal to 24. So let's start with the top side. So I have an x plus 6. Then I have a side that's x. Then I have another side that's x plus 6. Then I have another side that's x. So I've added up all those. So here's one side, second side, third side, and fourth side. And that perimeter has to equal to 24. And then we're going to again combine all our like terms. So an x, second x, a third x, and a fourth x. So there's 4 x's, so that's 4x. And then we've got a 6, and a 6 makes 12. Has to equal to 24. And then we solve the two steps, so minus 12 from both sides. 4x equals 12. Divide by 4. X must equal 3. And if it had said find the lengths of all the sides, then I would plug in x as 3. So that's 3, 3, and then that's 3 plus 6, which makes that side 9. Number 4, this time we're doing area. And it says the area has to be 180. Well, to find area, we multiply length times width. So I need to take the 10 and multiply that by the 8x minus 54. I'm putting this in parentheses instead of just putting a dot because that 10 has to get multiplied by that whole thing, 8x minus 54, not just the 10 times 8. And then the area equals 180. So now we end up with distributive property here. So remember, this is when we take 10 times 8x is 80x, and 10 times 54 is 540, and that is equal to 180. And then we just continue to solve the two-step equation. So we add, opposite of minus 540 is plus 540. So we have 80x is equal to 180 plus 540 is 720. Divide both sides by the 80. And x is going to be 9. Number 5, a perimeter again, but it looks like we don't have enough information, but this is a square, so we know in a square that all the sides are the same. So we could do this one in 2 different ways. To find the perimeter, I could add all the way around. So I can add 25 minus 2, 20 plus 25 minus 2 plus 25 minus 2. I can do that 4 times for all the sides, or a short way is we need 25 minus 2x, and I need that 4 times. We can multiply it by 4 instead of adding it 4 times. That's the same thing. And we know the perimeter has to equal 64. And then I can do my distributive property. So 4 times 25 is 100, minus 4 times 2x is 8x. And then that minus sign goes with the 8. This 100 is actually a positive 100, so the opposite is going to be a negative 100. So we subtract 100 from both sides, 64 minus 100. So then we have a negative 8x. We haven't used that minus sign yet, so it comes down. It's attached to the 8. Is equal to negative 36. And then we divide both sides by negative 8. And make sure we use integer rules. 2 negatives make a positive, so it's positive 4.5. And then for our last one, it's not asking us for area, perimeter, it's not asking us for anything, but if we look at this, I know I have a rectangle, and I know that in a rectangle, this side has to equal to this side. And that's how I could figure out what that variable is. So I know these two sides have to be equal. So this side that's 46 plus 5x has to be equal to the side that's 76. So that's how we can set up our equation. And then we can just solve the equation. So we minus 46 from both sides. That's going to leave us with 5x is equal to 30. Divide both sides by 5. X equals 6. Again, if it has said find the length of the side afterwards, then you would just plug in x is 6 here and do 46 plus 5 times 6 and get your answer that way. There are tons of other types of equations we could do, so you're just using what you know about different shapes to then set up an equation to be able to solve for a missing value.